Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Mr. OMG 1979. This is my first time doing something like this, so please be gentle. Today we're going to talk about whether or not Elden Ring is for you. Elden Ring has enjoyed a surge of popularity with the launch of the DLC. It quickly became one of the most played on Steam with 590,000 concurrent players.
That's a lot of nuts!
While that's still below its all-time high of 930,000, that number is quite impressive. It is also the highest rated DLC of any From Software game, and the highest rated DLC from critics, surpassing even that of The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine expansion. So what is Elden Ring? Elden Ring is a 2022 action role-playing game developed by From Software. From Software is famous for making the Dark Souls series, as well as various offshoots like Sekiro, Bloodborne, Armored Core, and others. Elden Ring is the only open-world version of these games. Dark Souls games generally share a common theme. You have a limited number of healing or magic flasks as you traverse the world, fighting punishing enemies and bosses that can easily kill you in a couple of hits. Every time you rest at a bonfire, or in Elden Ring's case, a lost grave site or checkpoint, you replenish those flasks, at the expense of regenerating nearly every enemy you've taken out. Combat is very strategic and requires precise parrying or dodge rolling to avoid enemy attacks. All in all, many consider Dark Souls games, or Souls-like games, to be hardcore in difficulty. So what does that mean for you? Is Elden Ring a game you should play? I'm going to answer the question for you right now, and then give the reasons as to why. And that answer is a resounding yes. Yes, Elden Ring is a game I think everyone should give a shot and see what they think.
Questions? Yes, are you nuts? I don't want to steal drugs from my father. I don't want to go inside a monster, and I don't want to die.
I say it's worth a shot.
Yes, I agree. Let's do it.
Now, why is that? Well, to be honest, I was like many of you. I watched the birth of Dark Souls, watched videos online, and saw the many people raging at how ridiculously difficult these games seem to be. And I thought to myself, why did I ever subject myself to something like that? Games are meant to be fun, not rage or stress-inducing. I'm here to relax and have a good time. Then Elden Ring released. I read all the reviews, saw the open world aspect of it, how gorgeous the game happened to be. So I decided to take a deep breath and say, screw it. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Warning. Warning.
And honestly, I loved it. Yes, it can be stressful. And yes, it can absolutely be rage-inducing. But here's why I really fell in love with Elden Ring and Souls-like games in general, and how it differs from other Souls games from the From Software line. First off is the obvious one, the open world. Get stuck somewhere? Getting your ass handed to you in that direction? Go another one. You also get a mount in the very early stages of the game that allows you for faster travel, double jumping, and it even can take hits for you instead of you taking them. And if you love to explore, this game is for you. It's only just recently that players even discovered everything that one could in the game. The open world also allows you to overlevel. And while you can in most Dark Souls games, it's much easier to do in an open world environment. So if you really feel stuck on a boss, go out farming and gain some more levels to make that journey a little bit easier. The second reason is more of a subjective opinion, and we're not going to include the DLC here. Generally speaking, Elden Ring is probably the easier of the Souls lineup. And when I say easier, I mean more accessible. There are often cooperative players ready to summon for bosses, or NPCs you can summon as well to help you in fights. There are many different spirit summons you can collect and upgrade that make excellent distractions so you can get in some hits. Do you have to use those things? Not at all. But they are there if you are really struggling. Unfortunately, these items can only be used before or during boss battles, so the rest of it is up to you. I found the story to be quite interesting as well. The tale is immense, and there are many NPCs you can ally with or not as you traverse the lands between. Some are even semi-difficult to find, which is why exploration is so critical. You never know what they might give you to help you on your way. And lastly, I think the main reason why many of us play these Souls-like games is the sheer exhilaration you feel after defeating a difficult boss for the very first time. It takes all that rage or stress that may have occurred in the fight and wipes it clean. I often find myself screaming in joy when I cross that finish line for the first time. But is Elden Ring a perfect game? Is it for everyone? No, of course not. Let's be frank. While I do feel like Elden Ring can be given a shot by anyone, it's just not going to be for everyone. I completely get and understand why frustrating or stress-inducing games just wouldn't be for you. I ended up changing my mind about it, but not everyone is going to, and that is okay. Elden Ring, in my opinion, also does a very poor job of guiding you. Yes, if you notice, the lost grave sites actually have golden beams that will show up in the game and on the map, directing you where you might want to go next. But often people get rushed to the first boss well below the level they should be at, and end up getting frustrated and repeatedly dying. If Elden Ring is the first game of this type for you, I highly recommend a guide to get started. Lastly, I've been disappointed a lot with the community.
Shame. Shame.
I mentioned before that Elden Ring has not only seen a huge influx of brand new players to the game, let alone the genre, but I believe it is more accessible than other Souls-like games of its type. There are tools in the game that can assist you. There's even a seamless co-op plugin to play with your friends. If you don't want to use them, that is completely up to you. But I've seen a lot of people ragging on those summoning NPCs or using their bell for spirits to aid them, and there's no need for that. We should be celebrating those who are giving this a shot for the first time. It can only grow the Dark Souls genre even more. Well, that's it for my opinion on whether or not Elden Ring is for you. I would love to hear in the comments if you agree or disagree. Just be sure to do it respectfully, please. To all the new players to Elden Ring, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time in the lands between.